On the central worlds of the Orion Confederacy, holographic comedians performed skits about primitive Earthlings with their clunky fusion drives and embarrassing diplomatic missions. In the Grand Council of Exilon, human ambassadors were tolerated at best, pitied at worst. After all, Earth was a backwater, a small blue world with little to offer except exotic foods and outdated philosophies. And then came the ships. At first, they appeared as faint sensor ghosts along the trade routes anomalies, the big empires dismissed as sensor errors. But soon, freighters began disappearing. Xylan warships, sent to investigate, vanished without a trace. Rumors whispered through the darker sectors. The humans had new technology. Commander Keval of the Exilon Armada was the first to see one up close. His fleet had been patrolling the Gamma Drift when the Vanguard, Earth's first antimatter-powered battleship, arrived. It didn't warp in. It punched through subspace like a bullet through glass, warping reality itself as it exited. The ship was a sleek obsidian dagger, shimmering with an energy signature Keval's sensors couldn't decipher. Keval sneered. "Primitive tricks," he said, signaling an attack. The Armada's warships launched plasma torpedoes and ion barrages at the strange vessel. They never hit. The Vanguard moved with a speed that defied physics, weaving through attacks like a living shadow. Then it fired one single, silent shot. Keval's flagship, a vessel that had ruled sectors and crushed rebellions, simply ceased to exist. No explosion, no debris. One moment it was there, the next it wasn't. Panic rippled through the Armada. Keval, on his auxiliary ship, watched in horror as each of his ships was erased from existence one by one. In the Council of Exilon, chaos erupted. Humanity was summoned for questioning, but their emissaries came not with apologies, but ultimatums. Earth had discovered something the galaxy had long deemed impossible: stable antimatter containment. For millennia, antimatter had been the stuff of theory and myth. Attempts to use it had ended in spectacular disasters. Even the mighty Gorthan engineers had declared it a dead end. But humanity, desperate and unencumbered by galactic wisdom, had cracked the code. Using diamond lattice magnifields, zero-point stabilizers, and raw stubbornness, Earth scientists had built engines that could warp space, disintegrate matter, and fuel weapons of unimaginable power. And they weren't offering to share. Dr. Mara Vance, lead scientist of the Vanguard project, stood before the stunned delegates of the Orion Confederacy. Her voice calm, her eyes blazing. "You laughed at us," she said. "You ignored us. You humiliated us. Now you will listen." The Confederacy's High Chancellor, a being of pure light known as Arinel, tried diplomacy. "Surely," Arinel intoned, "you seek peace." Mara smiled. "Of course. Under our terms." Within a galactic month, human ships were seen in every corner of known space. Trade routes fell under Earth's control. Pirate kings who had terrorized sectors for centuries surrendered overnight. Ancient, godlike species that had once ruled stars now negotiated treaties with a species they had once considered children. Resistance flared, briefly. The Krath swarm, a species of hive-mind marauders, attempted a full-scale invasion of Sol System. Earth's response was swift and brutal. The antimatter fleet descended upon them like a swarm of black locusts. In less than 3 standard days, the Krath homeworld was turned into a silent graveyard orbiting a dying sun. Word spread. The galaxy bent its knee. And yet, within the halls of Earth's hidden research facilities, a darker truth brewed. The antimatter engines, powerful as they were, had side effects. Space itself twisted and groaned under the strain. Rips appeared in the fabric of reality, small at first, then growing. Creatures from beyond the known dimensions peered through, curious, hungry. Humanity had won the galaxy. But in doing so, They had knocked on doors that should never have been opened. Captain Elias Trent, commander of the Vanguard, watched the latest report from deep space probes, a tier near the Centauri rift, glowing with malevolent energy. Shapes moved within, flickering between realities. He turned to Dr. Vance. "We've awakened something." Mara, ever pragmatic, nodded grimly. "Then we do what humans have always done," she said. "We fight." The galaxy, once arrogant and aloof, now looked to Earth not with disdain, but with desperate hope. For in their reckless ambition, humanity had unleashed a threat greater than any empire, greater than any war. And they were the only ones who could stop it. The age of antimatter had begun. But so had something else.